Kathy, this is our Surround 2020 palette. What would you like to say about it?
It's quite amazing when you see it all together like this, isn't it?
It really is.
I think most people, most manufacturers, would take a palette like this and just add one or two what they would perhaps call highlight colours, so there might be a red and an orange or a yellow in there. But with Surround, we've really taken it to another level altogether. So I think we've covered off on a highly workable range of colours and made it more significant by the range of textures that we've introduced into the Ish range. And then as the next stage, we've absolutely embraced both, I think, the need and the opportunity to work with colour in ways that are both idiosyncratic, accessible, and I think that that's what's been missing, particularly in a relatively conservative industry, that we can actually say that we believe that these colours and this range is at least as important as having a well-coordinated range of more neutral tones. So it puts an emphasis where I think it belongs.
I think one of the really nice things about the Surround palette is having launched the Ish of the range. When we've been talking about launching some colours, people were using the Ish and they said, oh, well, we have reddish or yellowish, which to me is a perfect example that it's actually resonated really well with the marketplace.
I think the Ish works particularly well in the way that it's been used. I'm almost hoping that people will see the colour palette and say, what is this colour? What do I do with this colour? And hopefully embrace it and experiment with it and come up with some really interesting palettes that perhaps blur that line between commercial, residential, internal, external, and I feel that that's where the joy will be in working with the 2020 colour palette.
For me, I think that what it really says is what the Cemintel brand is about. I think where we actually add value to our clients and customers is having a curated range, and the range that we have arrived at I think is very sophisticated, but it also works on our more simple structures in our residential space, but then also transfers very easily to the commercial space.
We're also not being terribly prescriptive by offering an extensive but well-considered range. We're offering designers and architects the opportunity to, in a way, experiment, and that's often a phrase that doesn't sit well within an industry like the building industry or many industries where experimentation is seen as something that's risky or adds cost. But this isn't about that at all. This is saying that within this range of products there is something there that will produce perhaps unexpected results. And I think that's the thing that's missing, the surprise element that is missing in a lot of the buildings we see around us today. That with this range, we're not saying that these are necessarily the entire range. We haven't covered off on every hue and tone of colours. We've just put a range of colours together that we think is significant based on our own understanding of the market and what's happening around us, and then presenting that out and sharing with everyone why we've done it, which I think is really important. It's not ad hoc. And I think people will respect that and then be able to delve into it and find their own expression of how the design intent of what they're doing can be manifested in a product like this.